Cancer, welcome to your 5-card movie star spread. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. Ooh. Cancer. In the protagonist position, we have the Six of Cups in the inverse. And in the antagonist position, we have the Three of Swords in the inverse. What this tells me is that you are picking at old wounds. It doesn't hurt as much as it did the first time around, but that's exactly why you're going back. You see, like I guess the best way to put it is, like those taffy pulling machines, if you've ever seen them. So they have like these 4 prongs to them, and it'll pull the taffy this way, and then just before it breaks, the other 2 will pull it this way, and then just before it breaks, the other 2 will pull it that way. That's what I'm looking at here, and that's what came to mind. So what's happening is you had this old wound, and you separated yourself from it mentally, physically, whatever. You gave it a little bit of distance, and you let the feelings subside. Now that the feelings subside, you can come back around, find out some information about it, fix a few things within yourself, because you can't fix the problem anymore. The problem is past and gone. But you're looking at why this thing happened. You're poking at the old wound to see, is there still some more healing or some more lessons to be learned here? So like I said, you gave yourself a little bit of distance, and now that it's thinned out, you're coming back around to pull it in another direction to see if there's more to it. Now that you're a little older, now that you're a little wiser, and now that the feelings have subsided, you want to revisit this energy to do some more healing. Okay. I kind of have a feeling that with this King of Pentacles in the inverse, I have a feeling that you're not alone in managing this energy. Okay. So it's almost like it could even be that you've already learned this lesson and you're revisiting why you learned this lesson and things that happened with this lesson in order to help somebody else learn this lesson. So this could be a personal relationship, like a friend, a family member, or even a romantic partner that's going through something that you went through in the past. And by you digging up the wisdom that you learned going through this pain the first time, you're feeling out, like I said, with more maturity and more wisdom, a little bit more that you can get from this. And then you're packaging it up and giving it as experience, as advice to the next person. This could also be something in the work environment. You could be looking at mistakes made or things that didn't turn out the right way or this or that, and showing, pointing out your past mistakes to somebody in the work environment as part of a training exercise. Teamwork. Appraisal. This is your possible journey here. You're trying to find something constructive and beautiful. There is a commencement speech that they turned into a song that was very popular in the 90s, something about sunscreen. Like, I might have to find that and put it in the links. But he talks about advice as fishing up like an old piece of driftwood from the past, sanding it down and painting it over and presenting it to somebody as if it's a prettier package than it ever was. And that's kind of what I get going on here. If this is you looking at your old wounds or past mistakes with a little bit more maturity and a little bit more wisdom that you had, trying to teach somebody else about this particular situation, appraising yourself in the process and making it a manageable package for the other person to understand, what you're doing is not only are you relieving your own stress by remembering the lessons you learned from this pain, but you're also helping somebody else not get stressed about coming across this situation over and over. Even if it's just for the mere fact that even if they're still going to do it, even if they're still going to have this problem, at least they're learning something from your experience on how to deal with it and what could come of it. And maybe what they're learning from you is that it's okay sometimes to make these mistakes, because these mistakes are great learning processes. You learn more from your mistakes, from your failures. You learn more from your failures than you do from your successes, because the failures you take in a little bit deeper, you know? They become old wounds that you pick at later. Yeah, you see? Decisions are going to need to be made, and you're naturally going to want to defend your actions. But you're teaching this person that sometimes you have to separate yourself and your feelings from these actions in order to do the right thing. So you're teaching somebody how to how do I put it? It's like you're teaching somebody how to put up a good defense right off the bat. How to create a solid case so they don't have to go back and defend their actions later. You're showing them how to maintain that upper hand right from the beginning before they make a decision and without putting their feels into it. If I didn't, Cancer, this feels very vocational. It could be about a personal relationship, but it feels either like vocational or financial maybe. But it's like you're teaching somebody else how not to make the same mistake that you did. Or this person already made a similar mistake and you're teaching them how to recover from it. And then beyond that, you're explaining to them a better way of doing things so they don't wind up in this mess again in the future. Cancer, this is about you assisting somebody else through something that you've already been through, which is a good thing. See what the possible outcome is. Yep. And you're teaching them to rely on their network or group think or group understanding, you know, rather than make it personal. Rather than make it about their actions, you're teaching them how to make it work for the group. This could be a company, because sometimes this represents an institution. Sometimes this could be spiritual. It could represent higher power. But you're teaching this person the ropes of this institution or this group think. And you're teaching them how to create an environment that functions for the group without focusing on self, based on your experience of the past. So it seems to me like this training session, I guess is the best way to call it, or this mentorship is a successful one, because not only is it assisting the other person in having less stress in the situation, but it's having you go backwards and look at how much you've grown and be grateful for that. So I hope you found a message that serves your highest good. And although it might be difficult to humble yourself and explain the mistakes that you made, it is helping you and it is helping this other person. So if it feels a little rough, know that it's also rewarding. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next time.